everybody, it's Megan, and I'm doing kind of a quick video. It's getting pretty late, so I've got my jammies on, I've washed my face, I've brushed my teeth. I'm about to go to bed after I finish this video and post it. The video I'm doing today is on my 3 favorite household items, which are coconut oil, apple cider vinegar, and baking soda, and how you can use them together or separately for cleaning, beauty uses, and some dietary help, but I'm not a nutritionist, so I have no claim to these, but I will tell you the information and you can do your own research. The one I'm going to start out with is coconut oil, and I mostly use this for beauty. I use it a little in cooking. And I know the only thing cleaning wise I've seen for this is like you can repolish wood with it, but that's about it. Beauty wise, what I do is I use this as a makeup remover. I just kind of rub it on my eyes and then I let it sit for a little bit as it softens up the mascara, because that's what I have the hardest time with. And then I wash it off, sometimes twice, because this stuff, while really moisturizing, feels like oil on your face. I just don't like the feeling of stuff on my face. That's what, I have a hard time moisturizing because makeup I'm fine with, but like oily, greasy, liquidy stuff, no. I also like to make baking soda and coconut oil scrubs. So I'll either put a layer of this on and then scrub some of this stuff on, or I'll combine them together and just scrub it on. Mostly it depends if I have makeup on or not, because I don't want to scrub baking soda on my eyelids. So I'll do this and then soften it all up and then scrub and wash it off again, washing my face afterwards. Some people don't if they have really dry skin. I guess they love how moisturizing coconut oil is, but I don't know. The other thing I like to do, which I don't have in front of me, I think I might be out and need to make more, is I like to take this and I like to take this and whip it with my hand mixer, or some people use their KitchenAid blender, which I love, but I don't have a spare $400 for a blender. Not a blender, a mixer. And it makes this really super soft, super airy moisturizer. That's the only thing I'll use coconut oil wise on my skin and leave it on, because it's more air than coconut oil. Some facts about coconut oil. It does come from coconuts. It does not smell like coconut nor taste like coconut, which I was kind of upset about because I was kind of wishing it would smell like it, but then I realized if I cook with it, don't exactly want my French fries to taste like coconut. This has a melting point of 76 degrees, so if you keep it in your bathroom when you take a shower gets above 76 degrees. And it is not solid anymore. See, I accidentally left it in my bathroom. And it's liquid. It's usually solid when it's 76 degrees or below. It's kind of warm in here too. And when you make the body butter, whipped oil, whatever, you want it to be solid because liquid just won't froth. The problem with letting it liquefy is you'll get like these little pearls, and while it's kind of cool if you want like an exfoliating situation, they can be really annoying to like break apart. It's still just coconut oil. It hasn't gone bad. It's annoying to me, especially since I also use it with polymer clay, because you can use it to soften polymer clay if your clay's too hard. In fact, that's what I was doing all day before I took my second shower of the day, and I looked like this. Health-wise, some claims. Some people like to oil pull. I find oil pulling absolutely horrifying. What you do is you take like a tablespoon or two and you put it in your mouth and you just swish it around for 20 to 30 minutes. Some people go to like an hour of doing it. And just the thought of having oil in my mouth just like swishing around sounds disgusting. So I'm not even going to attempt that. My nose is so itchy. Other than that, I like cooking with it. You don't want to deep fry with it because It has a low melting point, and so it also has a low burning point. I think it says suitable for medium heat up to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. So I don't want to like test that at all. It has really good detoxing properties, I guess. It pulls the toxins out of your body, just like it does with the whole oil pulling. On that note, we're going to talk about baking soda. Baking soda is probably my favorite because it has, again, I think all of them have like 2 of the 3 except for the last one, apple cider vinegar. Because this is great for cleaning and it's great for beauty stuff, but you can eat it, it's in cakes and cookies and things like that, but I don't know of any like health benefits to it. Cleaning wise, this is great for, it even says so on the back, it's mostly for cleaning. For a fresher, cleaner home, it says for scratchless cleaning, you can use it in the kitchen, in the bathroom. I actually do use it in the bathroom for like those tough stains on porcelain, because porcelain's porous, and so I feel like this is fine enough that it gets in there and pulls it all out, especially when I get dye at the bottom of my tub because I dye my own hair. And then also for deodorizing, so you can like sprinkle some. In fact, they sell a fridge and freezer pack that you just stick in the back of your fridge or freezer, and anytime there are like lingering odors, it'll absorb it all. But that also means you should not keep it like this, because it'll absorb any odors. So if you have this in like your pantry and something goes bad, it'll absorb that odor, and then all of this will have that odor. So you don't want that. So keep it in a sealed jar. I like to separate mine out into little mason jars. So I'll keep one in my kitchen and then one in my bathroom. They each have their own purpose. This I think is my kitchen one. I like to use it to clean fruit because it also, like it cleans the fruit when things have like wax and then all that grime that gets on it. But it is, you know, the more edible version of soap. It's great because you don't have to scrub with a sponge, which is also super gross. Sponges are like one of the grossest things to me, but I still use them because, you know, how else am I gonna clean my dishes? You can just rub this on with your hand with a little water included, and then just kind of like scrub off that gunk. Key benefits. Again, this makes a great scrub. I love it. I think I actually used it today on my legs to get all that red gunk off of my legs and my hands. See, my hands are clean. Sort of. They're still a little pink, but they're relatively clean. For things like that, anything oil-based, I'll take this and I'll mix it with some body wash. I used to actually like to take, I don't know if you've ever heard of the ice cream called Talenti. Probably saying that wrong. When I'd finish one of those, I would like clean it out real good, and then I'd put a mixture of this, a really luxurious body wash, usually from like Bed Bath & Beyond, not Bed Bath & Beyond, Bath & Body Works, and a little bit of water because the paste gets really thick. 1 part this, 1 part body wash, and then like a 1/4 of a part water. And I would just use that. That would be like my weekly scrub to get off all that dead skin off my body. Things I recommend. Do not use this a part of your scrub for that whole shaving thing where you like shave and then you scrub your legs and then you shave again. Do not use this. This is a little bit more irritating. Something about the properties of it. It's not quite the mini scrubbers. It's just something about it at least burns my skin. I have really sensitive skin. So I do recommend for that using like a mixture of coconut oil and turbinado, which is that sugar in the raw, or brown sugar, or salt. Though I don't know about salt. I wouldn't try salt. Though I guess it would be kind of cleaning because they say like when you have something when you have a sore in your mouth, swish salt water because salt water is super helpful, but it just doesn't sound fun to me. Salt in the wound. The final item is apple cider vinegar. This is my most recent addition. I only added this maybe a week or two ago, and I've already used like this much of it, like half a bottle. Because, like I said, you can combine things. So you can combine these two, and you can combine these two, and that's my favorite way to use this stuff. Well, one of my favorite ways. There's two of my favorite. Because I don't know if you remember in 5th grade science, but if you mix baking soda and vinegar, you made that like explosion. Not explosion, but it started foaming up, and it was a lot of fun. Apple cider vinegar does the same thing. So what you can do is you can sprinkle some of this down your sink if your sink's clogged, and then slowly pour some of this down, and it'll foam up and work the same way as like Drano or liquid plumber. And then you're supposed to flush it with hot water, and then a few minutes later flush it with cold water. I did it worked okay. I'm gonna try again because I think I used too much of this, and so I think this spent more time breaking down the baking soda than breaking down everything else. And that's how I used so much of this, because I kept pouring more down because there was more baking soda. My other favorite thing to do with this is to use it as a toner, and I actually haven't done my toner yet, so I'll show you what I do. This has really great, just kind of, the word's antimicrobial, said that so wrong, properties, and it helps dry out like pimples without really drying out your face. I've noticed a pretty good difference. I'm gonna get up and close and personal with you. You'll see my bad skin. I have some pretty bad skin. I don't know if you can really, there we go. These all used to be like big pimples, and now they're slowly fading after a week or two. I'm really hoping this helps with my new face wash, which I'm gonna do in my like May favorites video in a week or two, which I definitely want to start doing like a once a month. I've noticed a big difference. I still have these, like they don't just magically shrink, and I still have some pores. The pores are the worst part. I have never had, well, that's a lie. I haven't had like a blackhead free nose since probably 5th grade, and so they're starting to get smaller, but they're gonna really take some time to clear out. This is my favorite thing. I have a little spray bottle. I got this for maybe $1 at Michael's, which is, yes, I know, a supply store, but I work there. Sometimes I like to take a little cotton pad and some of this, and then just like soak it and rub it on my face, but I feel like when I rub it on my face, it like pulls on my skin. I just don't like rubbing things on my face. So I spray this. I plug my nose when I spray it because it is vinegar, and first time I used this, I forgot that it was vinegar, and I accidentally breathed through my nose, and vinegar up the nose is not a very pleasant thing. So what I like to do is just plug my nose, and then just breathe out your mouth for a little while. Also be careful around the eye area, because you can really, vinegar in the eye doesn't sound fun either. You can feel it. Sometimes I have like a problem with picking pimples. If I pick a pimple and then I spray this on it, you can actually feel like a stinging. There's some stinging going on right here. Kind of like when you put rubbing alcohol on like scraped knees on children, if any of you ever had that traumatic experience. It feels kind of like that on a smaller scale. So I'm going to take that as, it's sanitizing it. And I think I mentioned once before I had a big scare with MRSA, and I had to have surgery, and one of my biggest fears now is to get another one of those abscesses. I've had them all over the place. I've had one on my eyebrow, plucking a hair, just one. I plucked one hair, and I got one right here. This side. And it's actually in my student ID photo because I had to get my ID that day. I had ones on my underarms. The big one I had surgery on was my stomach. It's just It's really painful, so I'm so scared of that. I clean everything really well, my tweezers, and I clean it with this because, you know, if it feels like that on my face, it must help with the tools too. Cleaning wise, they say this makes a good dupe for Pledge, and I haven't really tried that. I just have Lysol wipes that I use for everything. Works. Another thing is if you don't want just a straight smell of vinegar, they say if you put this in a larger mason jar, not one of these tiny ones. This one's glittery. It's glittery. But, you know, if you pour some of this in a non-glittery clean one, and you put some, like, old orange peels, you know, you eat an orange and you throw it in there, it'll infuse the smell of the oranges, and then when you spray it or like rub it instead of just vinegar, it'll smell like oranges. I have not tried that because they say to let it sit for like a week or a month, and I don't have time for that. Health wise, this stuff apparently has some really good detoxing properties too. In fact, it's really good at breaking down fat, according to everything I've read. So they say if you like take a shot of it or drink it with some water in the either before every meal or in the morning, it'll help. It adds more acid to your stomach, so it'll help break down food quicker without like super quick, because if you break down food too quickly, you'll lose all that protein and the food you need to absorb, but it'll help break down like fat and stuff and help clear it out of your system. I tried it for a day. I just couldn't do it. If they could invent like a tasteless vinegar that had the same properties, I'd buy that for the whole shot thing, because if that works. I do like to sprinkle just a little bit of this on my french fries instead of salt. It gives kind of a, you know, vinegar taste, but just a little, like half a capful on my french fries. I know it sounds silly to have these products and like why not just run out and get, you know, different things like Lysol wipes and just buy that, but it's pretty handy having these 3 items because of their different properties. And let's see, this is I think $2 or $3. This was $1.50 at Walmart, and they had a big gallon jug for I think $3. And then I think this was $4, maybe $5 at Target. And so you're going to spend a total of like $8, $9 on all of this, whereas you're going to spend, you know, $5 on one bottle of cleaner, and then you also need glass cleaner and yada yada yada. So I really like this. I have not tried, like, I don't know if this works on Windows. I'm not going to suggest it. Maybe I'll try it and let you guys know. But I haven't tried it, so I'm not going to condone it. Maybe I can find a different way to do, like, Windows that's also all natural and super cheap. Because I'm not really into the whole all natural. That doesn't really bother me. It's the cheap part that I like. That's my video of the day. I know I skipped a day and then posted the video the next day and then didn't do a video that day. So I did do a video that day, but I didn't at the same time. But I really wanted to get this out. I really want to keep going. If I let myself stop, I will fully stop, and I don't want to do that. I'm actually having a lot of fun doing this. I feel like every time I do one of these videos, I can feel myself thinking a little harder as to what I should say. You know, being wary of how many ums and likes and you knows I say. And I'm also kind of feeling like I'm getting out of my shell, especially with that Come Along With Me Day video I posted last, because I would have never thought I would have been able to, like, walk around a store with a video camera, and I didn't really that much. I know the room was spinning a little throughout the video because I kept, like, waving it around, but it was because I kept pulling it down because I saw a person. But I came out of my shell a little bit more that day, and I feel like I'm coming out a little bit more here. I suffer from some really severe anxiety and panic disorder, and so that's kind of my goal of this, is to be able to breach that and really be who I am. I feel like I'm only running at like 50% now, and I'm hoping to get to 100% and then go forth into the world with that 100% and let people see me not just like shy, awkward, bitch face me. You know, that person who looks like they're not interested in you, and really they are, but they just don't know how to show it, so they just have like one of those faces. That's me. So my goal is to fix that and be a little more open and meet some friends on the way. If you haven't already, click the subscribe button below, and I'd also love some comments on my videos with some feedback or some suggestions for new videos. You can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram at cherrypuddinpop, the same way it's spelled here. I'll see you next time.